Everyone nowadays is complaining about the algorithm, and I get it. It's painful, confusing, annoying, and downright frustrating at times. So instead of focusing on how to trick the algorithm and get it to push your content out there, I'm going to give you 5 guaranteed ways that you can grow your audience without relying on the algorithm at all, so that you can have some guarantees with your growth on social media. And all 5 of these will be evergreen tactics that I've been using for years and will continue to work for many more years to come. So let's get into it. Now, the first one is community engagement. And this is pretty straightforward. You go and find 10 or 20 pages who your target audience already follow, turn on post notifications, and each time you see them post, go and leave an interesting comment on it. Now, these people might be reaching 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 people per post that they make. And so if you leave a creative comment under their post, it's going to rank higher up in their comments. And a lot of the people who see the post will see the comment as well. And when they check out your page and see a similar niche of content to accounts that they already follow, and you've set it up correctly, you're going to gain some followers. For argument's sake, if each post you comment on is reaching 10,000 people, and you comment instantly on 10 of these per day, that's 100,000 people that can potentially see your comment. And so if you leave something creative, it's going to drive a lot of traffic to your profile. And if your profile is well optimized, it will convert a lot of traffic into followers and grow your page. Now, this is not something that'll grow you thousands of followers per day, probably not even hundreds, but there's definitely a good chance you can gain 20, 30, 40 followers every single day through doing this. And if you stack that up over a year, that's over 10,000 new people you've added to your audience from one simple strategy. Now, the second one is paid ads. Now, this might be an obvious one, but if you do it right, paid ads can be the most profitable way to grow your account predictably and fast. Now, if you are a creator without a business, this option might not be the best one for you. However, if you have a business, learning how to run paid ads can take away all of the stress of growing your profile. Let's say you have an accounting firm and you charge a couple $1,000s for consulting on how people can grow their business. If you can create a good piece of content and then spend $500 to get it in front of the right people, and one of them buys from you, you're straight away making a profit. If the cost of the service is $2,000, you've just earned a 4 times return on ad spend whilst gaining a ton of exposure and new followers in the process. And if you do a good job of the service, then you can sell more services to that person, get more referrals, and it's just all around great for your business. It comes down to having a good ad, which is a valuable piece of content, running it well, having a good system to collect leads, and then obviously having a really good offer on the back end, because no matter how good your ads or content is, if what you're offering people on the back end isn't A, appealing, and B, delivered well when they actually purchase it, there's no point wasting your money. If you're a service-based business and need help with this one specifically, then check out my agency down below where we can help you do this, and we got some pretty good offers at the moment. So the third strategy that you can use to grow without the algorithm is a bit more of a targeted one. And that is following targeted people and replying to their stories. And I've done this on my personal account, which I don't really post on that much. What you want to do here is simply set up your account so it displays what you do and looks professional. And then each day you're going to follow a handful of targeted people in your industry. And when it makes sense, you'll reply to their stories and open a conversation. This will not only get you some people to follow you back, but it will open up conversations that will grow your network. Now, this is more of a sniper approach than a shotgun approach, as you will likely only get a couple followers per day from this. But if they are high quality people that are relevant to your industry, it could lead to great results for your business. Now, the fourth one that I want to run you through is shoutouts. And this is going back to a paid strategy again, and it's very similar to the ads route. But what you want to do here is find those 10 pages that you wrote down from the first step that already have your target audience, and then pay them to promote some of your best content, either by reposting it on their feed or by sharing it to their story. This way, you are getting in front of their audience, as well as a stamp of approval from the creator. Now, these can cost you as low as $20 for some pages and will grow your audience. Other pages are going to be charging thousands, potentially tens of thousands for access to their audience. Again, it's important that if you want to do this properly, you have a good offer to sell. You don't want to be spending a ton of money on this if you're not able to recoup it. If you're a personal trainer and you pay a page that's all about health and fitness, $50 to share some of your content, it might only gain you 30 or 40 followers. So it's not a super effective way to gain a ton of followers. But if one of them starts paying you $100 a month for your services, you've not only gained followers, but you've made more money than you spent. And then you can rinse and repeat this every day, every week, to gain thousands of followers per month whilst growing your business. Now, the fifth and final one that I want to touch on is a little bit out the box, and that's going on more podcasts. Now, this is again another free strategy if you do it right, and it's something I don't see many people talking about, but is really effective. For example, I recently went on a podcast here in New Zealand called Keep the Change, and I gained about 2,000 new followers from it. Now, the way you want to do this is simply find podcasts in your niche, reach out to them, pitching a unique angle or a unique story that will benefit them, as in benefit the podcast, and show how having you on their show will be of value not only to them, but also their audience. Any situation where you're going and asking people for something, always look at what you can do for them and lead with how it's going to benefit them. And if you can find a way to make your story interesting or valuable or useful to their followers, you will have way more success with this. For example, on this podcast that I went on recently, specifically, I gave their audience plenty of insights into growing a following online, making money online, and my story going from being a young person and building up a business working for myself, which led to a lot of the clips of the interview doing well, the interview getting shared around. And then because of that, that was really beneficial, not only to the podcast host, but also to their audience. And then because of that, I gained followers. And this is something you'll notice a lot of big creators do. The likes of Iman Gadzhi will go out there and do a series of podcasts where he'll go on 5 or 10 big podcasts in the space of a month and get in front of a ton of people through doing so, which massively grows his audience. And then he takes a ton of clips from those podcasts and he will use them to then create his content and grow his audience. And this will give him content for months and months and months. Even the likes of Andrew Tate, not the biggest fan of the guy, most people probably aren't, but the way that he markets himself is he'll go on big podcasts, get a ton of reach from them, and then all of those clips will be put out there into the world for him to grow his audience. And you'll notice it's quite a big thing. Even politicians will do it when they're trying to, go for elections, like what we've got running at the moment. They go on a ton of news channels, a ton of podcasts, gives them a ton of content, a ton of reach, and allows them to get their message out there. You can also turn this into a paid strategy by paying an agency to get you onto podcasts. But personally, I've always done it organically just through networking. Now, we actually have another strategy, like a bonus strategy that we use for a few clients that help this client gain 3,000 followers a month and another one gain 1,500, both without even posting content. But it's something you have to be very careful on. And I don't want to put it out there without the right education around how to run it properly. So if you want more information on that and you're trying to grow your audience, then again, just send me an email and I will send through some ideas on that one. That's it for today's video. As always, I've got a free course which will be linked down in the description to help you grow your audience. And other than that, see you in the next one.